The next loco to appear is a Hornby J15. I reckon this is one of the best locomotives Hornby have ever made, and you can pick them up for £70 or £80. It's a superb runner. It doesn't go too fast. It's geared for slow freight work and for passenger work, I suppose, on rural branch lines, which is exactly what these locos did in real life. I just think it's brilliant. And yeah, let me show you one running. I'll try and get it to start as smoothly as possible. Just watch the D16 making a smooth, hopefully, start, leaving the station. Oh, bit of a jerk. The next loco to depart from the terminus station is an Oxford Rail N7, pulling a rake of 4 Hornby suburban coaches. And the N7 is a really good value model. It cost me about £90. It's a good runner, and yeah, one of the best tank engines I think around. Okay, I'll just release the brake and hopefully it'll start smoothly. You'll see as it runs along this part of the layout that there's an awful lot of landscaping still to do. Having pulled into the main station, we'll now release the brake and it will set off around the main loop. The next loco to appear is a J17 freight locomotive. It's sort of in between the most powerful J20s and then the very lightweight J15. And they operated quite a lot in East Anglia, and this model is a Beck body, and it was originally mounted on a Triang 060 chassis, but I've replaced that with a more modern Hornby Ginty chassis. It's got slightly finer wheels and it should cope reasonably well with modern track work. It's also got pickups attached to the tender, but it's not a perfect runner. Sometimes it's really smooth and other times it seems to jerk and stop for no apparent reason. I haven't quite worked out why yet. I suspect there are loose connections somewhere inside it, and I'm going to have to take it apart and tinker with it a bit more. But it's a nice looking model and it's just something a bit different. Here's another Beck J17. This one has the original Triang Hornby chassis, so it doesn't go it doesn't go very well over the modern point work, but it's still okay. It's got extra pickups in the tender. I think I'll have to do something about the chassis though. I'm not quite sure what. Quite a few modern chassis don't fit very easily into the body because the body is quite narrow. Even the J15, Hornby J15 motor doesn't quite fit in. I've got to, maybe if I want to put a new motor in there, I'm going to have to cut away quite a lot of the inside, which is white metal, so it's quite hard work. You can see it's just stalled there. Give it a little nudge. Yeah, I'm trying to get it to crawl quite a slow speed for an old Triang model. It didn't like the dirty track work in the fiddle yard there. It's more comfortable at a higher speed, as you can see, though it does slow down mysteriously along the straight. Meanwhile, on the high-level branch, there is a J67 060 tank engine pulling a couple of Kirk Gresley suburban coaches. I shall get that going. I'll have a closer look at that when it's down on a more accessible part of the layout. It's quite dark up there. It's now going to come off the branch, which is quite a steep descent in fact, and it'll come through into the main station. And you can see it's quite a smooth runner. This is a Wills or Southeastern Finecast white metal body on a Dapol Terrier chassis. So we'll just bring the J67 into the station and we'll get hopefully a better look at it. As I say, a Wills Southeastern Finecast white metal body and a Dapol Terrier chassis, and I dare say the more modern Hornby Terrier chassis could probably be adapted as well. It might be a better runner, but I have to say this is not a bad runner, even though the chassis is probably quite old. Well, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 years old. Maybe it hasn't had much use. So there it is. It's just in plain black because that's the best I could manage. Any funny imperfections in the paintwork are probably just reflections, in fact, because it's been sprayed in nice plain black and it's looking pretty good. I really like the J67. It's got a busy little look to it. I suppose, you know, for youngsters it's rather like Thomas the Tank Engine. Thoroughly useful engine. Let's see it set off out of the station with its short little suburban train. Lovely smooth start there. Sorry about that. And off it goes around the loop. And finally, here comes the J67 into the station for one last time. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour of my Great Eastern Railway locomotives. There's the J67, next to it is the N7, and here I've got B12. In front of it, well, a project that I haven't really got very far with at the moment, a tram engine, J70 or possibly a Y something if I make it an 040. That is actually just a metal body. I think it was made by a company called Ertl for the Thomas the Tank range, and we've taken off the little Toby the tram face. But if I can't get a motor in that, I do also have a white metal kit. Don't know if you can see that. White metal kit. I think Kay's made this. I've got a few of the spare parts there, and I think I might just be able to fit a Hornby 040 chassis in there. Maybe I'm being a bit optimistic. I might have to trim it down, certainly. But there we go. There's the next project. And just to summarise, there's another D16. There is my F4. Yeah, here's the LNR F4. I hope you think the lining is good. I think the red lining is beautiful. And so I'm definitely going to keep that, even though everything else is in BR livery, apart from one of my J17s. That LNR just looks so good, and it gives me a good excuse for having some teak suburban coaches, because they look beautiful too. So there we go, a roundup of Great Eastern Railway's locomotives. If you are on the lookout for some of the kit-built models, just be patient. Obviously Hornby and Oxford Rail have produced some nice models in the last few years, but just every now and again you'll find a model on eBay, and if you're lucky and it's not being sold on, on a Sunday night, you might just get it for a bargain price. Okay, cheerio for now. Thank you for watching.